Good morning and welcome to another edition of the program, The Papers on Canal de English. My name is Lesley Fombuh and I'm quite delighted to be your host once again. We unfold the papers today with the post with captions on a very interesting story. The paper says Senator Mukete calls for protests against Anglophone marginalization. The details on the story says Senator Victor Nfon Mukete's adrenaline level is high, boiling. His heartburn for the quick recognition of the Anglophones in Cameroon, that their status has been jabbed. That's what he said, that he wants the Anglophones to be recognized officially in Cameroon. We'll stay with the post this morning, which captions on another story, very interesting. Elie Mukete begs hierarchy to proclaim the true results. Details on the story says Prince Elie Mukete has petitioned the Southwest Regional Committee to proclaim what he terms the authentic results of the CPDM reorganization exercise in that part of the country. Still on the post, U.S. donates 20 billion francs CFA to fight against HIV and AIDS. The details on the story says the U.S. Congress has donated $40 million, approximately 20 billion francs CFA for the 2016 country operational program in the fight against HIV and AIDS in the country. And Canal reports fake 2013 twin elections. The details on the story says the National Anti-Corruption Commission, Canal, has lifted the lead of the 2013 twin elections, revealing that they were conducted in an atmosphere ridden by all forms of fraud. And finally, the paper also says this morning that tension in Bafut, there is tension in Bafut as Fon Abumbi's candidate is rejected. The details on the story says on Sunday, November 29, 2015, tension rose to fever pitch in Bafut, Northwest region, after a list for the election of a new bureau for the Mezam 4 CPDM section was disqualified. We now move over to another paper this morning that captions, that is the Star. The Star captions on a very interesting story too. Biya appoints Peter Esoka, new National Communication Council strongman. The details on the story says the head of state, Paul Biya, last Thursday, Friday, November 27, 2015, signed a presidential decree appointing ace journalist of the veteran Peter Esoka as the president of the National Communication Council of Cameroon. Still on the Star this morning, Soweto adopts 2 billion francs CFA as 2016 budget. The details on the story say Southwest Development Authority, Soweto, has adopted its 2016 budget during the 34th session of the board. You can read more on page 3 to grab more on that story. And the University of Bamenda gets a new vice chancellor. That's still on page 3 of the Star this morning. The story says President Paul Biya last Friday signed a series of decrees appointing new officials to some state universities in the country. At the University of Bamenda in Bambili in the northwest region, Professor Teresia Nko Akenji was appointed the new vice chancellor of that tertiary institution. You can read more on page 3 of the Star this morning. Now, another paper, Le Messager captions on another interesting story saying Jean-Jacques Ikindi's MP party is back, bouncing back to life. Details on the story says he is back with a plan to chase President Biya. President Biya would plan, he says, is going to be very competent. La Nouvelle Expression this morning captions on the recent terror attack in the far north, saying more than 50 people have lost their lives in the attack. Details on the story says the 2 suicide bombers exploded themselves and a series of battles followed after the attack. We want to thank you for your kind attention following the very first part of the program, and we now move over to the second part where we shall be analyzing the content of the papers this morning. Good morning, Elie Smith.
Good morning, Lesley.
It's very nice having you on the board the program this morning. We know that for quite some time now we've not been having the program.
Exactly. It's a pleasure to see you today. This is Monday.
Yeah, so what caught your attention?
What caught my attention was first the outing again of for Mukete, saying that there should be a protest against the marginalization of the Anglophones, yes,
and
also the the fight against HIV, the subvention that the U.S. government have now voted,
yes,
and also the results of the CONAC that presents the election that were fraudulent and things like that.
Yeah, so what is your take on Senator Mukete's declaration on the Anglophone fight?
Well, I am very happy that an Anglophone of his caliber is standing up tall to talk or to say what everybody knows, that the Anglophones in this country have been marginalized, are still being marginalized. For example, look at the Cameroon National Daily, which is Cameroon Tribune. Mm-hmm. It is purely a French language newspaper where you have just some cuts, some space kept for Anglophones.
Yes.
And they claim it's a national newspaper, a bilingual daily. Mm-hmm. What they would have done, I think there was a formal format. An English edition should be published,
yes,
as well as a French.
Just like the Catholic Weekly, Le Fort Camerounais.
Le Fort Camerounais, yes, should be like that. We should stop those things that Francophones will just be marching over us, doing everything they feel as to do. Look at Cameroon. If you look at CRTV, yes, it's an entirely French-speaking television with pockets of Anglophone.
But we have some English content there too that is very important, very vital for the English.
Yeah, it's as if you are in Senegal. Senegal is a French-speaking country. They have some, yes, pockets of Anglophone program, English-speaking program.
Okay.
So CRTV is not an example, which calls for a CRTV which is purely Anglophone and a CRTV which is purely Francophone.
Most people are saying that Senator Mukete is now speaking because he's old.
Well, it's never too late. Those who are claiming that, what have they done? Because we keep on accusing those elders. We have accused Muna, we have accused Foncha, we are now accusing Mukete. Who are the Anglophones now who have taken up the flambeau? I
yes,
think I can categorize him or put him like I can say it's like a Moses generation.
Yeah, he would have done that when he was young to make sure that the fight continues.
It is
because
true.
It's like he's now speaking because he does not care anymore.
No, not that he doesn't care. Maybe he has now realized that was something worthwhile. He made some mistakes, like most of us. We do commit errors. I
yes,
think what he has done is good. He is of the Moses generation.
Yes.
We should now have a Joshua generation.
Yes.
So that's what I think. So we should not always be accusing him. I commend him and I salute him for what he's doing.
Where he ignited something that we believe that the young generation might want to continue tomorrow to debate whether there is actually an Anglophone problem in the country. Another story that caught our attention this morning is the bouncing back to life of Jean-Jacques Kindi. Most people are saying that he's coming back because he's no more in parliament. And
he is really an opportunist. He is the kind of politician that I detest, because he is wavering, he's just always is gyrating. Yes. Whenever he is supported by the government, he calms down himself. When he has run out of cash, he resurrects and finds himself. So you say he's running out of cash, that's why he's coming back? I think he's running out of cash, that's why he's coming back. Let's talk about this other story. BR appoints ace journalist Peter Isoka as president of the National Communication Council. He now has the full rights to close the major organs. Yeah, he's not closing. I don't think that he's closing. But I think while we are for freedom of speech, we also think that we cannot abuse. Yes. We should respect some basic ethics of the profession. Now, on banning or closing media houses is not a good thing, but I think calling them into order is something which is worthwhile, and I think that's what he's going to do. Okay. Isoka is a professional journalist. He's a person we don't have to present anymore, and I salute the decision of the head of state to maintain him as the head of the National Communication Council. Well, we want to thank you very much, Mr. Elie Smith, for respecting this rendezvous. Thank you very much. And tell viewers, thank you very much for watching another edition of the program, The Papers on Canal Do English. We shall be back tomorrow for another edition. Have a nice day.